yes, welcome to a little game that I found called Slay the Princess by One Black Tabby Games. Saw this, thought it was interesting. It's more of like a spooky point and click adventure thing more than anything. And what I actually didn't know is that one, they have a trailer now. And two, it was actually supposed to come out tomorrow. So, perfect timing, I guess. But then it got delayed for reasons. And now it'll be coming out on Monday. Okay, I'm not crazy. I thought my intro music was still going, but nope. So anyway, let's get into this, shall we? To the start of Spoopy Month on the channel. Chapter 1. The
You're
Hero
on a
and the
path
Princess.
in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
So yes, this game is fully voice acted, both the narrator and the princess itself. So I thought that was interesting. That's a bit not the usual when it comes to these point and click visual novel type games.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Ooh. End of the world, you say? Oh, we get dialogue options. Nice. Oh. Let's see. What are our options? We can explore. What are you talking about? The end of the world?
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Hmm. How could a princess be locked away in a basement in the world?
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
I will linger on the specifics because how else will I make content if I don't? Do you have any evidence to back this up, Mr. Narrator Man?
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it
Sorry.
this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending?
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists, or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Surely. Can't someone else do this?
Oh, if only that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
Sweet, I've always wanted to off a Marnark. Let's go with it for now. How about forget it, I'm not doing
Are
this.
you serious? No, you have to do it.
I don't have to do anything you tell me, sir. Alright, let's do this. Look, I'll go to the cabin, I'll talk to her, and if she's as bad as you say, then maybe I will slay her, but I'm not committing to anything until I've had the chance to meet her face to face.
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed.
Well, as you said, that is my decision to make.
So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not
Oh, I do have a
slave-
voice. Nice.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
What, so the narrator is talking to, like, the hero's subconscious? Is that what I am? Am I a subconscious? Well, let's head in, see what we got going for us.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Welcome to the chat. Nate, do I have a press copy? No, this is the demo. I am playing the demo. Welcome into the chat. Yeah. I saw that the game was supposed to release tomorrow, but I think they updated on Twitter saying that, wasn't gonna come out till Monday for reasons. Demo's real good too. Yeah, that's what I heard when I did the research on the game.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table.
I'll take it.
It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Yeah, if that trailer is anything to go by, then yeah, this will be a one to keep your eye on. I'm gonna save right quick, just in case. Into the basement we go.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
I mean, sure.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous.
It's me.
It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
The subconscious of the hero, since he has a voice and all. And an A-. Interesting.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Okay, got it. Hey, I think I'm here to kill you, I think. I was given a quest by a voice in the sky.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You
Sure.
gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs.
Hey, I'm the
and lock
subconscious.
eyes
I'm
with
not the hero.
princess.
He's got his own voice.
There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
For some reason.
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
I'm just here to talk.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and talked? Look at her. It's not like she's a threat. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do
It's
after we
fine.
talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
I ain't letting go of this thing right now.
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
I mean, I could throw it.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Do you hear the conviction in her voice? Do you see the razor sharpness in her gaze? I don't think she's bluffing. She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
What if she isn't bluffing? Are you sure she's not armed?
I'm positive. I'm not, but we'll keep our eyes peeled. If she has a weapon, she'll have to draw it before she can use it.
I'm already walking into this situation half crazed because I'm talking to myself.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
I ain't putting this blade down. Not this time.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Squint at the princess.
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are going to do this forever, aren't you?
Yes. Even harder.
You squint even harder.
Got an achievement for that.
So does she. At least nobody's dying right now. You're going to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever. Eventually,
But this is a video
someone
game. I can do
is
it all,
going
everything
to
forever
have
all I
to
want.
blink.
Oh. Alright, let's see.
You charge the princess, blade in hand, but unfortunately your earlier suspicions proved correct. A blade of her own slips down her sleeve and catches you in the neck.
Whoops.
Blood sprays from the cut, your severed carotid artery painting the princess with strokes of red. You'd better finish your task quickly before you run out of time.
I can choose to die or finish the job. Finish.
With the last bit of your will, you press forward, sinking the blade deep into the princess's heart.
Oh,
The two of you collapse on the floor together, rapidly bleeding out.
somehow, I thought this would turn out a little differently. But I wonder, do you really think that this was enough to stop me?
I mean, I was kind of hoping.
There it is again. That razor-sharp look in her eyes and the terrifying conviction in her words. But you don't have the time to worry over such things.
I died.
Everything goes black, and you die.
Hooray! Chapter 2.
You're on a path in the woods,
Okay.
and at the end of that path is a cabin.
So it's gonna restart for me.
And in the
Okay, I
basement
get
of
it.
that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
But I died. What am I doing here?
I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Are we sure we don't want to turn around and hightail it out of here? I really don't want to be stabbed to death again.
Hello? New voice. Voice of the flinching.
Stabbed to death? Well, you won't have to worry about that. The princess is unarmed.
Bullshit, narrator.
That's exactly what you told us last time. But as soon as we tried to slay her, she just started stabbing us to death.
Many times.
Calm down. I assure you she has no weapons. So there's no reason to fear her. You were made for this job. You'll do just fine.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. We did exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Sounds to me like you probably had some kind of elaborate nightmare, in which case I shouldn't be held accountable for
A
what
vision,
supposedly happened.
if you will.
But congratulations, you've been given a chance to actually do this right. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We stabbed the princess stabbed us, and now everyone's right back to where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
A big circle.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? Had you
Maybe.
failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left? Who cares what happened to everyone else? We should do what we can to save ourselves and just get out of here. You do realize that everything and everyone includes you, right? If you turn around and leave, you're dooming yourself as well as everyone else. She just caught us by surprise last time. She can't do that twice. So long as we're careful, we can win this. That's the spirit. Just keep that stiff upper lip, and you'll save the world in no time at all.
Oh, hero. Let's go to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Got it.
No, we can't go in there. Do either of you feel sick? Because I feel sick just thinking about that place. We're going to die again, and I bet it's going to hurt. It's good to be careful, but you're really not helping with all that talk about death and dying. Agreed. Just ignore that clown and stay focused.
Once more into the breach.
The interior of the cabin is a jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards.
That's different.
Their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The only furniture of note is a pointed table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
You didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall.
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely
no mirror, huh?
There isn't. Can you two stop arguing? It's stressful enough in here without all of this noise.
I care about whether or not I'm being lied to.
As do I. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
The whole cabin's different than last time.
Very different. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. A lot's riding on this.
Just in case. I'm gonna approach the mirror. See what demons may lie within.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Wipe the
You
mirror.
reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
The hell? I have a monster arm.
But it was there a second ago. And now it's gone. For the love of everything, can we just get this over with already? All this waiting is killing me.
Am I a member of the Monster Mash?
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Okay.
I mean, I could
Okay.
just choke her.
Holding it feels a little better. Maybe we
Probably
can
not a
make it
good
through
idea,
this.
though. Into the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what must once have been stairs. The fractured slats look as if they've been torn from their source and violently jammed into the wall. The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you can hear what sounds like the rhythmic scraping of metal coming from down below. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. That's right! Scraping! I told you she has something. I told you!
Sounds like a pipe.
That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor. I am begging you to get out of your head.
That's kind of hard, considering that's the only people who I'm talking to right now.
Her grating voice carries up the stairs.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
She an android?
Something wrong with that voice. I can hear her bloodlust. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eyes following you from across the room.
Interesting.
I wonder if she remembers us.
Very different again.
Finally, somebody. Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
We're not falling for it. She's tricking us. Can't you hear that threatening edge to her voice. She just wants us to get close, to let our guard down. Then it'll all happen again. If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed, after all.
Mm-hmm.
What
True.
are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
Jesus. That came out of nowhere. Finish the demo with the razor. 11 endings. Very interesting. Well, that was one. Let's go back to the first save.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place.
Yeah, very
The
robust
air
for a
feels
demo.
heavy and damp, a hint of rot,
Especially a
filtering
demo
from
of
the
a
ancient wood. If the
visual
princess really
novel,
lives
essentially.
here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Let's not say anything.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's so coldly beautiful.
Yes.
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Maybe. I don't know. Nuh-uh.
Then drop the knife.
Fuck you mean nuh-uh?
We should. It'll go a long way to building trust with her. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do.
I will.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Uh-huh.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be totally fine.
Don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
I've seen worse. There's people out there who think you're a threat to the world. What do you have to say about that?
Don't just tell her that.
I'm in control, narrator.
Is that why
Shush.
they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
No, but I'm sure there are reasons for keeping that information secret from me. Nah. What are you gonna do if I let you out of here?
Princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
I don't think I can answer that question in a way you'd find meaningful. At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why.
No, they left that part
doesn't
out.
sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
Question all.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose
Love that board
everything,
game.
all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
How long have you been down here?
Too long.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Let's say I want to. How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
Jimmy it open with the knife. A relationship?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
The only other option. Okay, we've talked enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Well, that's what we're here to do.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand. You've already lost the battle.
Damn.
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
We shouldn't have hesitated.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times for good measure,
Ouch.
the pointed tip of her
Ouch.
shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down. As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
On the floor.
Is this really the best you could do?
Unfortunately,
Look
yes.
at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
That's just what all of my relationships end in. Disappointment.
She applies more pressure. slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs.
Ouch.
This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes black, and you die.
Damn. Well,
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement, you're here to...
let's see if this is any different. Straight to the cabin.
A warning. She will lie, she will cheat. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her
Oh.
and stop pretending we're
Different
capable
voice.
of doing anything in this situation.
Voice of
She
the
probably
broken.
doesn't even need to try to overpower us. Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
That's what you all say.
You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible.
We'll see about that.
So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be. If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
No, you're just a voice.
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement.
Very different.
You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small.
I've been turned into a halfling. Approach the mirror again.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be
The
a
invisible
once we
mirror
wipe
once
off that
again.
layer of grime. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
I get the feeling that might play into another ending. Take
You
the
take
blade.
the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
A very different basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase.
Spiral
Its
this
steps
time.
almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease.
This is what I'm talking about.
This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement.
I want a
The
basement
princess
like
lives
this.
here. Slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your
I want to see
sudden
what
change
this
in
version
attitude?
looks like.
Just a few minutes ago, you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions.
Yeah, that's me.
Though if his ramblings get you to the princess,
The
they
other
get you
voice
to
in
the
your head.
princess.
Alright.
Making your way
What's
down
down
the spiral
here?
staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond.
I just clank, fall downstairs.
The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. That isn't what she looked like last time.
Not at all.
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it
She's
would
a
do.
Dark Souls boss now.
I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity.
She's aware of this one.
Drop it.
But I don't want to.
As if on command, the blade slips from your grasp.
Doesn't matter.
It clatters uselessly to the floor. But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us?
Yes.
I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
No.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your knees hit the floor.
Not my knees.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk?
Again. Oh. That's not the button I pushed. Oh. The tower. Interesting. Oh, that was two. Eh.
The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds. Don't let it.
Let's...
Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the stairs. She's so. Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? Then why?
She makes a Don't you dare. It's
Let's actually
fine.
see what happens if we try to free her this time.
The blade
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
against your better judgment.
I should probably make more
Step
saves.
forward. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to
If I want to
accomplish.
do all
So
this.
here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting. She is.
Do you?
Remain silent.
I see. The silent treatment. You know, if you don't share with me, well, I'm not going to share with you. Oh,
You know what.
Examine the chains.
Oh, you have to be kidding me.
No.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
And if there isn't a key, do you have any ideas besides me cutting you out of here?
That would be fine. I can lose an arm.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut.
Oh no.
You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here? You try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done. Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Alright, alright.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to.
Yeah, but content.
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I
Content,
heard
though,
the door
narrator.
slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Yep.
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Probably not. But content.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone.
So nonchalant.
She pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound.
Not a one.
Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
It's almost
Thank
like
you.
she's not human.
Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You
She's doing
can't
it
just
for
do
me.
that. Watch me.
They're all slay the princess. Oh.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here alive.
It's not what happened last time. Resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
No, narrator.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
Maybe.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it?
One of many.
I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and
The prisoner. Am I the chained up
you're
princess
on
now?
a path in the woods. And at the end of that, you're here to
I'm wise to your tricks.
My tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time. Don't forget what he did to us the last time around. I wouldn't trust a word out of his mouth.
Voice of the skeptic.
There's got to be a way out of here, for us and for the princess. We just have to keep trying. I'm inclined to agree. If he doesn't remember what happened last time, maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you two, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. And as far as trying to help her goes, need I remind you how catastrophically dangerous she is to the world at large? I told you about the stakes of this situation less than a minute ago.
And? Go to the cabin.
A warning. She will lie. Yes, don't believe a word she says. Just go in, take the knife, and do what you're supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud?
Yes.
No, I didn't. Wink. Just ignore this clown and focus. The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone walls, and thick, wrought iron bars barricade the windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement.
Mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door.
I'm gonna keep choosing
It's
this
a-
mirror.
There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This is... You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. But there was a mirror, and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. Maybe it'll be back.
I wonder if I pick up the knife before I walk to the mirror, if I could break it.
You take the blade. Good idea. Much better to be armed. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing across glimmering patches of slimy moss on the stone steps. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
Maybe.
Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Does she remember us?
Hmm.
You walk
Oh.
down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking
lot more
loudly
chains
as
now.
she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier.
Uh-huh.
Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
I like you, Skeptic.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
That'll get me every time. What happens if I just start from the beginning?
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end.
Turn around and leave.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
No. Nope. No, sir, I do not.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it.
Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange.
Oh,
It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back
Oh
on
my
track
God.
again.
How
Maybe the world
convenient.
can still be saved.
turn around again.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you?
Yes.
It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
That's what dying means. You're not emotionally blackmailing me into doing this.
Stakes and consequences aren't emotional blackmail. They're facts of life, and if you had an ounce of maturity, you'd understand that. But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look
Oh,
at that?
look.
You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
Like it's a game demo or something. Oh yeah? Well, I guess I could start walking in a different direction. Again. In fact, I'm going to just keep trekking through the wilderness until I find a way out of this
There's
place.
always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for
Oh, the
pretty
mus-
much
the music
everyone
cut out.
who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will.
Fine,
And here
then.
we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves.
Multiple cabins.
But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light.
Ooh.
In every direction, there is a path and a cabin.
I hear the cracking of the
And
mirror.
Not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
Wait, what's going on?
But you're too stubborn for that,
Some
aren't
shit.
you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world.
Yes.
You've doomed us all, you know
It's
that,
much
right?
more fun.
But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Damn. The stranger.
You're on a path
Oh.
in the woods, and you're here to slay him.
Okay, no. Those walls weren't there last time. You can't force
What
me.
are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience.
Voice of the
He
Contrarian.
might have walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his day. If by ruining my day
Hell yeah.
you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off.
The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky.
The world hasn't ended yet, and you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
Yep, okay. Heading to the cabin now where I'm definitely going to slay the princess.
You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you. A warning before you go any further. She will lie. If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar.
Maybe.
Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind.
But why should we?
The interior of the cabin is odd. The air smelling faintly of plastic, the wood of the walls fitting together at uncomfortable angles. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table, its legs all the wrong lengths. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust, or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway? I, for one, would rather have it. We don't really... I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise?
At least 4? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna see. Take
You
the blade.
take the blade from the table. Okay, fine, you took the knife. But you really shouldn't hold it like that. Then how are we supposed to hold it? The other way. Thumb at the bottom. Will look much cooler and more serious if we hold it with our thumb at the bottom. It really doesn't matter how you
Is the
hold
contrarian
blade,
just me?
as long as you have it. Just
Oh, fuck. Hold the blade the other way?
switch your grip on the blade. Congratulations. Yes! Isn't this so much better? Okay, fine. You're right. It really doesn't matter. Just get on with it and deal with the princess already.
Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
Uh-huh.
What are you talking about?
Wipe?
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous... But there was a... And now it's gone. You know that taking the mirror away from us isn't going to change things, right? We'll find it again, and then we'll see whatever it is that you don't want us to see.
Nah.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase built from an unidentifiable and featureless material. The steps barely seem to fit together, and upon closer inspection, they barely seem to go anywhere at all, let alone down.
I stepped into the weird windy staircase world from that painting.
The air here has an almost artificial quality to it, the scent of plastic from the cabin mingling with a cocktail of chemical odors. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs, its multitonal lilt adding to the already uneasy atmosphere.
Hello.
Oh.
Is someone there?
Oh, I don't like that one.
This isn't what I
Oh,
expected
I
it to
don't
sound
like that one. That one did something.
What
oh.
is she? Well, she's not a princess, that's for sure. She is a princess. Don't let your imagination run wild.
The hell are you? Silently continue.
Good. You're still listening to reason. It
Better.
takes you a moment to orient yourself before you're able to start moving forward. As you enter the next room,
MC Escher.
the form of the
That's what it
princess
was.
comes into view, her wrist bound to the far wall in heavy shackles. She locks eyes with you,
Duh.
one moving a little faster than the other, the loose skin of her face stretching into something resembling a smile.
Is that company? We don't remember the last time we had company.
Holy shit.
Exactly.
I don't know about you, but I'm sure glad we took that knife with us. I can't believe someone suggested you toss it out the window. Can you imagine?
No, I didn't.
Why are you just standing there? Are you scared of us?
I am now. Gah. Oof. I didn't like that one. That was the worst one so far. Probably should have saved that one. Oh, there's autosaves. Hmm. Go back to this one. What else haven't I done? Know what I'm gonna do. Start the game.
You're here.
Straight to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. A warning, she will We're not going to ignore him.
Uh-huh. Into cabin.
The interior of the blade.
No blade.
The door to the base, her voice.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's
Oh.
hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Hi.
Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be
Yeah,
better
yeah.
if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
Keep it in your pants, hero.
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Let's see if the conversation's any different.
Okay.
What's your name?
Oh,
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
you can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
So is Princess your name?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I've been down here so long I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name though. Everyone has a name.
Everyone.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade.
No, I'm not done. I'm the first person you've seen in a while. What have you been eating or drinking?
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant.
What?
Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
She's been eating the air. I'm not done talking yet. I don't know anything about you. For all I know, you're locked down here for a reason.
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason. I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
Right.
You have all the explanation you need, and you should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
What are you gonna do if I let you out of here?
The princess hesitates before responding.
She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any...
She knows what she'd do.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter. It's not like you'd believe me.
Maybe I would. Save. I was sent here to slay you. But I don't think you're actually dangerous.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
That's... How long has she been locked away?
Did they tell you how I'm supposed to end the world?
No. Which is why I don't think you're actually dangerous.
Sooner or later, you'll learn to trust me. Hopefully it won't be too late when you finally come around.
Thank you for believing me. Now, can you help me get out of here? There's going to be plenty of time to chat after I'm free, but okay. What do you want?
Don't make me regret this.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you, and you won't. I promise.
You're making a huge mistake.
No. You're doing the right thing.
Maybe, but content.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here
And if there isn't a key, do you have any other ideas?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance.
If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about...
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs...
Is someone else here?
You try the door, but it's locked from the...
Locked door, let
Your
me out of
shouts
here.
and plead. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't...
Well, now I can't get my knife. Sir?
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic
Yeah.
rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone,
Okay.
a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal.
Save.
It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Save, princess.
Fine. Against your you cut. The blade is sharp. She didn't so much as utter a
Oh, shit.
sound through the whole ordeal.
Different. I thought it was going to be the same.
No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just...
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her as the princess approaches... Wait, this is... Watch me.
What are you doing?
It's kind of the same, but it's still different enough.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it! Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Resist.
The blade! Move the blade! As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
Defying you, apparently.
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Not yet.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
Damn.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive.
Like an idiot.
The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark,
But it isn't.
and you die.
The damsel.
You're on a path in the... You're here.
Okay, no.
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. If he doesn't remember what happened, then... Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Uh-huh.
Our beloved?
What?
Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. Sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Uh-huh. Well, let's go.
A warning. She will lie. We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in. I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice. I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed. Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
Got it.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant.
Almost the
its
same
stone
as
walls
one of the
draped
other
in
ones.
fine-threaded tapestries. A prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement.
Mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. You reach forward, rub your hand against the cabin.
Oh, it's a tapestry.
I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror, but now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
No feather. No blade.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the
What's up
dim
with the
firelight,
music?
but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her
No.
voice.
A voice
It's
changed this
somehow
time.
even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already.
What did I say about keeping it in your pants?
I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this.
It's like I'm
over-the-top
fighting-
fawning.
It's like I'm fighting with like all the different fantasy tropes.
Yes, for
in my head.
everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation.
Uh-huh.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain
Is she
around
drawn
her
like that on
wrist,
purpose?
binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
Shush.
You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
I was so worried about you. You remember me, right?
Good ending? Yeah. Okay. Let's load from
As she rips her
here.
flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you. It's the blade from upstairs. Or we could, you won't like.
Slay.
Without hesitation, bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally. The wound drives her to the ground. Okay. There's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
Maybe?
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
Do you hear the conviction in her voice? Do you see that razor sharpness in her gaze? I don't think she's bluffing. I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us.
Barely.
It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure. Don't waver now. As you ready your blades to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm. Your knife cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw.
Tooth and claw.
Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got.
You got it.
Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees. We can still turn this around.
Saved. Finish.
You steel your resolve and take another step closer to the princess. You probably won't make it out of here alive, but you can still make sure that she won't make it out of here either. Excuse me? What's this about not making it out of here alive?
You didn't say anything about
I
that.
think this is what I wanted to happen. I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone in this room is still standing right now. Don't act so surprised. Can you not feel all those gashes and holes pulling you apart? If the princess doesn't do you in here, blood loss is certain to finish the job. You take another step forward, and the princess lunges towards you.
Again.
The two of you enter one last exchange, a flurry of blade and claw and fleshy ribbons. And then you stop. Neither you nor princess able to go any further. You collapse on the ground, and the princess collapses beside you. Blood pools around you both, and you watch each other fade.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
Silent.
I mean, aren't you also?
The room starts to get. You've paid a terrible price, but you've saved us all. It's over.
If you think this is
Damn.
it, you're sorely mistaken. One way or another, I'll make sure you pay for this.
There it is again. That razor-sharp look in her eyes and that terrifying conviction in her words. But you don't have the time left to worry about such
Yep,
things.
I die. Ooh.
You're on a path
This one would be
in the
interesting.
woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. You're here.
But I already slew the princess. Sure, she also killed me, but I definitely got her. Why am I here again?
I can assure you that you didn't slay her and that she didn't kill you. People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time.
Not unless you're magical.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep. Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him.
The opportunist.
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show.
Proceed.
A warning. She will lie. Don't worry. You can trust us to get the job done.
Yeah. You can trust me, that's for sure.
The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of
I like
knotted
this one.
wood that, almost as if by accident, just happens to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement. What are you talking about? You reach forward and rub your hand
No
against
mirror.
the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
Take
You take the
this
blade
time.
from the shelf. Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our... That's not actually a bad...
Why didn't we? Oh, why haven't we done that the first like 7 times we've done this?
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw,
Like we
waiting
need-
to swallow you up.
Like
into
we
the
need like a
earth.
torch or something.
The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
The witch voice, alright. I'm not nasty.
But you are. You're a wretched little thing. I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
She must have you confused with someone else.
Must have.
She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out. You
Shush.
can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions?
Yes.
Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk?
Both.
You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not in... Fine. You're the boss. Thank you.
Oh.
You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below. A fire crackles in the center of the room, casting unsettling shadows across the dirt walls. The princess crouches on the other side.
And there you are. One hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've
Just how?
dropped the pretenses. Good.
The witch. Who has a cat smile for some reason. Load. Back here. Run
The
for the
princess
stairs.
is still chained to the wall. There's nothing she can do to stop you from getting out of here. What if she doesn't succumb to her wounds? Whatever she is so much more dangerous than I thought she'd be. You rush up the stairs and dive
Run
past
away.
the threshold. You're safe. For now. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade. Okay, we can make this work. She has an awful wound and we have all the time in the world. Playing jailkeeper for a while might make things a little easier. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue.
Don't do that.
But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there.
Oh.
Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. Oh, it's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
Do your
When I
best.
get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it.
Okay.
You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
Obviously not.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker.
No, it doesn't.
Fuck, I ain't going to sleep. Fuck that shit. Whatever you are, you're not a princess. Go ahead and waste your energy. I'll be waiting for you.
I wouldn't be so sure about outlasting me. You're so brittle. So go ahead, rest, do whatever you think will help you be prepared. But know that I'm coming for you, and that when I find you,
I'll make you hurt.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall.
Bad idea.
You jolt awake
Oh,
in the
shit.
middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the tape.
But it's not a jar, it's a door.
Where is she?
Thanks for
Oh,
helping
God.
me get out of that awful basement.
You try
Welcome.
and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working.
Stops working.
It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach.
It's like she's a ghost.
Whose side are you on?
Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
It could in my mind.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer.
Sure.
One silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Gross.
Or maybe
Mm.
I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Uh-huh.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest. You have seconds left.
I'd
Seconds.
say better luck next time. But we both know this is the end, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends.
I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Die at least 6 times. Hooray. The nightmare.
You're on a path in the woods, and you're here.
Terrible sense of deja vu.
A terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
Uh-huh.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe.
Shh! What if he hears us? That's a very good question.
Hello,
little voice.
paranoid.
What if he does hear you?
Shit!
I think you'll find yourselves very hard pressed to keep any secrets from me. Not that it matters right now, because, like I said, this is the first time we've met. Still, I'd rather not get off on the wrong foot. We've a world to save, after all.
Pretty sure this whole thing literally just happened.
We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the world. So let's just agree to disagree.
Sure. Cabin.
A warning. She will.
I don't think lying and cheating is a thing. She was very direct with us last time. Or at least she was direct with us after we decided to lock her away.
It doesn't matter. Don't trust anyone.
Not even my own voices.
The interior of
Oh.
the cabin is plain, the smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table knocked on its side in the corner of the room.
Still the same.
A
Oh, what's...
pristine
Oh, in the
blade
windows.
stands
Oh,
between
shit.
you and the open, inviting basement doorway.
Oh, fuck. Stuff in the windows.
The blade is your Hold on. What happened to the door? There was a door here last time.
And there wasn't shit in the windows.
It's just an empty frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes on us? I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done.
Uh-huh.
So deep breath in, deep breath out. Your task away.
Whole cabin's different.
Very different. I'm not the only one who sees her in the window, right?
Okay.
She knows that we're here. Calm down. Maybe the three of you just think everything is different because you haven't been here before. Enough of this past life nonsense. You haven't died. You certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
Uh-huh.
So focus up. A lot's riding on this.
Mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the empty basement door frame. What are you talking about?
Wipe.
You reach forward and
No
did
mirror.
he make it go away? Clearly there was something in there worth investigating if he wants it hidden so bad.
I wonder if I eventually get to the point of knowing what the mirror is, that when I take it, it just shows like the player. That'd be interesting. Take the blade.
You reach down and pick the blade up off the floor. It would be difficult to slay the princess and good.
It would.
Steel can't. Is it gonna be enough though? Couldn't you have given us something else? Something, I don't know, better than a knife? Could we have a bomb?
Like a stick of dynamite.
Blade is the only thing you need to finish your task. You're more than capable of pulling this off, so long as you don't lose faith in yourself.
Uh-huh.
Those are the words of someone who knows he's sending us to our death.
Enter basement.
You
Oh.
cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps, suspended in darkness. More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for a creature of flesh and blood. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
Maybe.
Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
A lot of fun.
Okay, we need a game plan. Last time we were here, just being close to her was enough to kill us.
Step off into the void. How hard is it to throw a knife?
It can't be that hard. But then we'd lose our weapon. We'd have to make it count. Otherwise she'd be furious and we'd be defenseless. If a knife is even enough to do anything against something like her in the first place, it'll be enough.
Uh-huh. Save. Talk to
Didn't
her.
you hear my warning a minute ago? She can't be trusted. Talking won't do you any good. Something tells me she isn't going to be very keen on talking anyway. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge,
Ooh.
you find yourself between two loose rows of white wooden planks, suspended in nothingness.
She's turned into
A
Slenderman.
smattering of cobblestones visible against the inky black of the basement.
I don't
mark
have to
where the
find her
floor should
pages,
be,
do I?
forming vague pathways. At what seems to be the end of the room, they diverge in opposite directions, left and right. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed. Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is? No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you. Excuse me.
Yeah, voice.
I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement. We're going to die down here.
I don't want to die again.
Well, that's the name of the game,
Please
unfortunately.
stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter. Because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
Don't do that. Quick save. Go back.
You turn back to the stairs, only to find that they aren't there. A faintly outlined
Damn.
path lies before you.
There you are.
Oh,
I
okay.
told you I was going to find you.
As the princess approaches, your legs suddenly go numb.
Again.
Your arms quickly follow.
Damn.
This is it, isn't it?
And you brought a little knife with you. Cute.
There has to be a way out of this. Think!
Love how the nightmare version has the doll mask.
What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
The nightmare. No, don't do that. Load. Step into the void.
You attempt to step off the stairs and into the pitch black surrounding them, but you're stopped by an invisible force. Why did you do that? What did you think would happen?
Falling into an infinite void seemed better than going downstairs and dying.
How would falling into an infinite void be better than anything?
I don't know.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you know I'm going to... Please...
I wouldn't give it to
Go right.
You turn to the right.
Good old right.
Faintly outlined...
There you are. I told you I was going to find you.
Okay. That's the same. Continue downstairs in silence.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you know I'm going to... Please
I wouldn't.
Do nothing.
decide it's best to do...
There you are.
As the prince, your arms quickly... This is...
And
Okay.
What do you...
I wonder.
That's all the same. Okay. Me? Main menu. Okay. Well, I did like what, six endings. That's a little close to half. So I'm gonna end this there because I need to go to the bathroom real quick. Yeah. Really good game. Really fun. Lots of different ways to go about it and lots of different endings. So yeah, the game don't come out till Monday. And thinking about actually getting it now because that was a lot of fun.